Hey there guys, and welcome back to Rickard's journey through Skyrim, where you find us... Oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to be honest here. I have to redo the audio for this entire video because it was ever so strange. When I was watching back the footage, the game audio was synchronized, yet my microphone had desynchronized, so I think I was talking a bit ahead of what was actually happening, which was a bit of a bummer and kind of a strange one because they were kind of part of the same audio band, if that makes sense. So it's like if I detached the audio from the video, I would have lost both the game and my microphone. So we're going to go through again, or at least I'm going to go through it again. So yeah, we're continuing on where we left off after we killed the mercenaries, and I exclaimed just how ridiculously stupid they were. If here and there are points in the video that were a bit long due to processes that the game has to do, there's a point where I have to wait on a dwarven spider to do stuff, and he takes incredibly long time to get around. So I'm gonna edit parts. I kind of didn't want to because I kind of want to do this a bit more streamlined because Filmora is being difficult. So yeah. Okay, so we have the white file refilled. You see me sneaking here because I've opened up one side of the bridge in this dwarven ruin. I think it's called Verkand. This is part of the Forgotten Seasons that was in the creation store. And I was kind of hoping that the lever wouldn't be all the way down those steps because I could see all the damn traps that were down there. Part of me said, I think my words were that it was a red herring to go all the way down to the bottom, because normally in Dwarven Ruins when they show a long lower area like this, it's normally a trap, and just a straight up trap with nothing much going for it. I was incredibly cautious because for some reason I'm without Serana and Bran. They don't seem to enter this dungeon, which just kind of had me confused. I was also incredibly tired and constantly hungry, which, if you know Skyrim's survival, the one that they added through the creation store, being hungry is detrimental to everything with combat. If you're a mage, it's not so bad, which is why we do use magicka from time to time. But for a bow user, being hungry is a death sentence. So you can see here we reach the bridge, and I'm kind of looking for a lever to be in a more obvious spot, but it wasn't. It was not. Just like, oh. So I do have to go down there? Yeah, I had to go down there. I'll take my sweet ass time about it as well. I do not move fast. I like to take in the scenery. I immediately begin to sneak, because even if you're horrible at sneaking, you have to in Dwarven Ruins, unless you're fighting something every 10 seconds. Here I am showing, I was talking about how Rickard is terrible with sneak. Yeah, he's like up to 67, but we've put no perks into it. So, just kind of showing the game's kind of inability to expose characters with terrible sneak. It's kind of the downfall of the whole learning as you do. You know, if you use a one-handed sword or you wear light armor, eventually you will get better at it because you're using it. But sneak is kind of one of those things that shouldn't be part of that. So long as you, like, yes, it can increase your ability to take the perks, but if you don't take any perks, your base sneak should always be terrible. The game should want to make you take the perks in sneak, but because it doesn't, it's almost like the game really doesn't know what to do. It's like it's treating Rickard like he's adept at sneaking. Like, yes, he's wearing light armor, but that really shouldn't. Like, this room should just trigger when he enters it, sneak or no, but it doesn't. We also spotted the Centurion. That was well underneath where we were standing, so we could not see it the first instance. That is why I'm being incredibly cautious now. I can take on the spiders, I can take on the Centurion, but both at the same time, that's a problem. One thing I also noticed, due to the magic that is Elgato game capture, is that it's never incredibly smooth. There was a lot of choppiness right at the end, so I have to create a new ending. There we go, I decided to leg it. I was a little bit fearful. I thought the spiders would chase me a little bit more, but they didn't. And the Centurion gave up very easily. You can see how, like, I'm legging it to get away, but like the music didn't even change. Nothing suspense happened. I don't even think they truly aggroed on me. So yeah, so there was also some choppiness with the visual. So I'll have to find a new ending, a new place to end it, which was kind of annoying because there was a pretty good fight right at the end, where I saw. I'll talk about it because there's, you guys won't see it, and I'm kind of really sad about it. The visual is really, really bad. Like, the video actually freezes, but the audio carries on. So basically, I was picking up some items that were important to progress, and I triggered I triggered two enemies, two Dwarven mechanics, and with that, a Dwarven sphere came up in front of me, and he was the first thing I engaged. And I was thinking, oh, it's just two Dwarven spheres. I see two little dots on my compass. So I'm being kind of extra with it. I think I was using magic, or I was hungry is what I was. So I was swinging my sword super slowly, and I wasn't thinking too much of it. However, when I see the first Dwarven sphere drop, let's see, here comes some of the visual glitch. I think it just kind of slowly made my microphone audio just fall out of sync in general. Oh yeah, so basically that's kind of what happens later, but much worse. So yeah, when the first Dwarven sphere dropped, I was just kind of like, oh, what's taking the other one so long? Normally they'll come up at you super quickly. And there's me demonstrating why I have my Garnet Sword unenchanted, so I can use Elemental Fury, because I have all three words. And then that kind of negates being hungry. I think the footage smooths out eventually. Either way, I'm going to stick with it, as much as it hurts me to look at. So yeah, I was kind of waiting for the second sphere to show up. So I turn 180, and I see a Dwarven Centurion mid-swing. And I literally freak out, and then that just becomes horrible because I was really hungry, and dealing with the Dwarven Sphere was possible when you're hungry. The Centurion is not. That's because like their whole thing with Steam is just really horrible. This guy was a real nightmare. He's a real duck and weaver. And you can see me staggering because he fires bolts instead of arrows. So like every now and then I'm just like hitting the deck, just like come on. And then I finally trap him. Did not like him one bit. Dwarven ballistas. You just sneak up on them, take them out with arrows. I think that's what I did with one in the previous video. I completely missed what was happening there. I was like, oh. And then I wanted to put them back down because I wanted to see it happen again, but once the stairs are there, they are there. I was like, oh, I missed it. Yeah. Literally getting more and more tired. Which means every now and then my vision blurs and slowly becomes more blurry. I think that's when I was talking about, you can see just how slow, like we're just a little bit hungry there, and you can see how slow the swing of the blade is. This is why I have smithed up a dagger. No, I forged a dagger, but I have not smithed it. When I have it smithed, when I have it improved, like exquisite, like everything else is, because we're a damn good smith, we will begin to use the dagger a bit more, and I'll probably trade out Auriel's bow and go back to using Dawnbreaker. I love the Garnet Sword, it does such a good job, but I feel like the dagger could be better. It's not meaning that's going to begin that Rickard's going to start sneaking. Not properly. I still won't put perks into sneak, because Rickard is not a sneaky person. He already walks through undead. Yep, I was kind of hoping. Be friendly. Be friendly. Oh, you're not. Like, we already go through undead lit up like a Christmas festival. So there's really no reason for him to sneak, because we never sneak in ruins, just because of restoration magic and how it works. There's really no point. Plus, he's really powerful with restoration magic, so there's really no reason for him to sneak around Draugr or undead. Just because we're so powerful, we can deal with them very, very quickly. Plus, I'm pretty sure casting spells harbours no bounty from sneaking. I think I remember trying that out years ago when Skyrim first came out. I was just like, oh, can you get sneak attack damage with a firebolt? You really shouldn't be able to. But yeah, I'm not really sure if you can. I remember getting like sneak bonuses or something using fireball, but I was just like, it shouldn't, like the damage should not multiply. They should hear that shit coming. It's not like an arrow. So here, I saw that guy sneak off to the left. So we turned left, and this is actually the way to go. Now, you know me. When I realise I'm going the right way, I always like to check out the other way. This was a bit fascinating looking up here. I was like, what the fuck? I was just like, well, if they hit me, I'm dead. There are some mercenaries fighting what looks like dwarven spiders. I think I tried to take a couple pot shots, but I miss horribly. Thing is that I want to loot Dwarven Centurions, because they'll hold a lot of good stuff. They'll hold very high leveled arrows, like Daedric we have there, and soul gems, which I don't think I have a soul trap spell. We tend not to do that, though we do use souls. We do use field gems to revive Auriel's bow, but we try not to use black soul gems. Being a paladin of restoration magic, we try not to use them. If they're the only thing that I have that I found, like on a vampire or something, and I need to charge Dawnbreaker, then we like to think we're putting that soul to good use. And here I am heading back the other way, because I know there are mercenaries back here. They came with a mage, who hired them all, but we had not seen the mage just yet. Here I am sneaking. I was just like, I know you're there, so just come out. And I saw a mage there, and I thought, oh, is it him? And it was just like, no. See, we're still only just doing 2 times the damage. I think sometimes I've seen that you can be ridiculous and do like 10 times, maybe even 36 times if you're playing modded. I've seen some crazy sneak attack damage multipliers. So I believe this was the shortcut. This takes us back to the campsite at the beginning, which we take full advantage of. As you can see, We're moderately tired, perhaps 1/5 of the bar. 1/5 of our magicka is depleted. So we take a quick nap. It's like first thing in the morning, but we went all night trying to get into this place. So yeah, the footage has figured itself out, although it does come and go. I think I had to do this once before, where to redo the audio, when I actually forgot to switch my microphone on, like halfway through a video. So it was like half this and half when I realised. I think that was all way back in halfway through part 2. That was also during a summer heat wave. I think the reason why I forgot to switch the microphone on was because I was in such a rush to record. And the heat just affected my brain. Here I'm just fully certain it's because my laptop is like 8 years old. It's done a stout job, but now I'm finding myself stuck between what do I do? Do I pre-order PS5 or do I get a new laptop? My girlfriend is bugging me to get a new laptop because she knows how much it infuriates me. Yeah, I try to take the sneak attack, but I keep firing over their heads. So I was like, nah, fuck it. Hit the damn thing. So I think it's just the Dwarven spiders. The mercenaries are all dead. I was very hesitant to go anywhere near those stairs because of the lightning strikes. I really do try and figure out the timing, but I think before long, I think I just go for it. Pretty sure I did. If you hear the game audio playing, like echoing, it's because I kind of need it. Just to remember what was going on. If something snuck up on me, or I don't know, trying to keep the microphone as far away as I can. I hope it's probably hearing it. Okay, so the microphone just decided to switch itself off. That was fun. Thankfully, I didn't have to redo an awful lot. So let's just move this along. So yeah, this is where we find the mage's camp. And for this part of the video, I was kind of taking in the scenery. This is why I'm a bit slow to move, because the lightning is still striking, evidently. And then we get like I think 2 or 3 new quests kind of pop up kind of quickly. We get this one that talks about the crown, which I had no clue of at this point. Although the mage, I think his name is Elberion, is wearing it. It's really funky. I was kind of hoping that Elberion would be alive and he could talk to us a bit about what is going on here. But evidently for Creation Club quests, everyone is dead. Everyone is always dead, and you deal with everything with notes. A bit like, what was the one with... I believe the quest started in the Hall of the Vigilant. You had to go and hunt down a few corrupted ones. Like, they were alive, sure, but pretty much everything else you had to deal with through notes. And yeah, there's that monstrosity. The Dwarven Crown. I think probably what I'll do is... I'm probably going to have read his journal, of which I'm going to have no opportunity to read again, because my screen... I cannot enlarge my screen when I'm re-recording audio, so I'm going to fall silent for a bit and move it on. Or I can just talk about... No, actually, you know what I'll do is I'll talk about it briefly. Basically, his journal is talking about the 4 seasons. There are 4 rooms. Each one is like its own, is controlling each season. And he's telling the mercenaries that they need to split up into groups and switch off the conduits at the heart of each chamber. He also talks about how some of the mercenaries took notes and took them into each conduit. So even when you go into those rooms, you will find a dead bandit with a note that kind of tells you what he told them and how he told them to do it. And here we begin to observe that monstrosity. I will never wear it. Then I became slightly encumbered. I decided to take the charmed necklace over what I normally wear, which is the Gulder amulet, which is it's so good. It's very much worth having. Everything regenerates. It gives a boost to magicka, health, and stamina, and increases regeneration by like 30%. So it's really well needed. So yeah, I made the difficult decision because I was just like, what can I drop? What can I drop? What can I drop? But I'm really not holding anything that's that heavy. There I used a soul gem to try and free me up a bit, but then I was just like, I think later I just make the decision to wear the charmed necklace, which increases carry weight by 25. Had a bastard fly in my face. If you heard me blowing, that's what that was. Yeah, see there, I just made the decision to wear it because I don't know what this is. Currently, I've not played on beyond this point. I try not to play too far ahead. Just because sometimes my Elgato freaks out and I have to fix stuff. So there it gave us like Forgotten Seasons to disable all the conduits, and then to find 3 or 4 masks. I think it says 3 here, but there are 4 seasons, so I think there'll be a 4th mask. Disable the conduits in autumn, winter, summer, and spring. And then to shut down the Weather Witch, which we have no clue as to what that is just yet. I think the rooms that we deal with are... We go into summer first, just because it was the nearest one and I didn't want to get hit by too much lightning. Then I think we deal with... Well, we go into a room that's full of wheat to harvest. So I'll wager that's autumn. There's some more freak out. Freak out. Prepared for anything, although this room is really quite peaceful, albeit the lightning storms. So yeah, here we're heading for the, what is it? I think it was called Summer's Chords. And I may be in and out for my audio in this one because there was some process to this that was very long indeed. And open the door. Open the door. There we go. So I was immediately starting to think that if I walked into the room of summer where everything is hot, I kind of expected this steam to harm me, albeit slightly. But it didn't. And I was disappointed because I feel like that was a missed opportunity. To kind of make this a timed adventure. I mean, because the thing is that I have a shit ton of healing. I could have kept healing and going. So here we have, I think this is the Dwemer control rod. There's one note on summer. And it's a small note. It's telling me that I have to, or this guy was told that he has to use a Dwarven spider to switch off certain points so he can progress through. He's a dark elf, and he's saying that the heat is harming him, despite the dark elves having a fire resistance. But then again, I guess heat is something different entirely. So yeah, so there's a Dwarven control rod, because we have to use a Dwarven spider to switch off stuff. This is why this part takes a while. So part of me was just like, right, I'll pick that up first, then I'll wield it, and then I'll summon the spider, because I thought things would go awry if I did it differently. I was also very, very much worried about the weight of it. There we go. So there really wasn't too much danger to this room, only that the risk of falling into lava was entirely possible. Yeah, so here I am trying to figure out the point and click nature of this thing. Because obviously when standing I don't have a crosshair, because I don't want one. Oof, that was a jump. However, obviously I have the UI telling me if I'm detected when I'm sneaking. I use that for aiming when it comes to using the bow and arrow, and sneaking just because I need to know if I'm actually sneaking or not. It's just when I come to firing a bow when I'm standing, I don't want a crosshair. I like to eyeball it, although I'm not very good. I don't know. I've had some great shots over the course of history with Ricard, and that's what's important. So yeah, you can kind of see that I have to point and click. He has to land on these things to switch them off. And there are just times when waiting for him, he's just a little slow. Yeah. Part of me just changes up the sword in one hand just so that I can keep myself safe. There were some enemies, but they really weren't that much to worry about. Hell, maybe I'll just... Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll skip this room entirely. This will shorten the video by a lot because this was a long, boring process. Alright, so here we are. We just came out of the summer chords. I decided to get rid of that for you guys because it was just long and there was no danger. Here we are approaching yeah, this is the Room of Autumn, although I can't remember what the chamber was called. Being the alchemist that I am, I was enamored by the grass. Spiky grass. Trying to loot the chest that was right in front of my eyes but couldn't. There we go. Daedric arrows, very useful. Technically spiky grass really isn't. Wheat is, and you can start to see, you'll begin to start to see the footage become really quite bad. Yeah, Autumn's Bells, that's what it was called. Here we... Oh. As much as the footage is quite horrible, I was really kind of enjoying this room. It's very serene, it's very peaceful, it's very much not like what it was in the other room. Here we find a bandit with the notes of autumn, and here he talks about how there are different there are different bales of hay, and you have to kind of figure out which one fits into each depository. There are 6 depositories in total, and I think in our time here we managed to figure out 3 of them. Yeah, he's kind of talking about how if he wanted to go farming, I would have stayed in Rorikstead to do farming. Blah, 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 blah. I kind of, yeah. Whenever I read that note, and a part of me was just like, this guy sounds dumb as fuck. Because like, he really just couldn't figure out the tiny symbols, and actually I didn't either. Immediately, they're not that obvious that each symbol is different, because they all have the same symbol for hay. There's just like a different numeral underneath it. And there we also picked up one of the pieces for the Dwarven horse, which was something we found outside. I think we find one more piece in here actually, and then that began to make me think if I missed something in Summer's Chords, but I don't think I actually did, because I think trying to figure out that, I really went everywhere. You see me going through all my items here, because I was trying to think if, because this was before I knew that there is special wheat in the area, and I was kind of just thinking, oh, wheat, how much of it do I actually have? I have quite a bit of it on me, and I will have more of it when I'm finished here. And but yeah, that was just before I knew it was actually special types, because if you remember Nernroot, for example, that white-green glowy stuff that lives on the surface, and then when you go to Blackreach you find Crimson Nernroot, you can kind of see what I'm talking about there. Yeah, it begins to get real bad as soon as I enter this room, which was a shame, because this room had a lot more danger to it, so there's a lot more combat. Yeah, you can kind of see that we're kind of beginning to get hungry, so our arrow drawing is taking longer. There are special, uniquely named Dwarven Centurions here called Harvest Dwarven Centurions. And I actually like them because, oh wow, that was a huge leap in footage. Yep, there you go. See, so there's one of the symbols. There's a Dwarven Centurion there, and I decided to make quick work of him using Daedric arrows. Just because they, obviously, all Centurions are a problem, particularly playing on survival. So there we get the sneak attacks. Although it's really not worth it, but it's better than nothing. And I really like these Harvest Dwarven Centurions because they carry a shit ton of wheat. I think each one has like 12. Yep, there's 12 there. That's going to be a lot of health potions later. When we get back to Heljarken, I think that's probably what we're going to do. Make up some potions, because I think we got them through most on our way here. There are the depositories. So obviously we had to figure out which one was for the red. There are traps. Some of them do have traps. I completely missed when I go to pick up this, and then I hear the blade spinning, and part of me was just like, oh! And Dwarven spiders as well, which are basically like metal face huggers when you look at that animation for them. And then I switch back to the sword. I think for this one, there were just 2 spiders. But that spinning blade pops up every single time you activate the wheat itself. It wasn't a case of sneaking or a pressure plate. Which was kind of what I was thinking. I was just like, oh, what did I stand on? But I didn't. It's just each time it goes away, and then you pick up more wheat, it comes back. So then I think after dealing with the crimson, what is it, glowing red wheat. So there we put in 4. I think we have to put in like 30. It's kind of hard to know. I began to pick up more and try to put it in another depository, because I thought, because this was the only colour that I saw, I thought it was the only wheat there. However, I think you can kind of see it in the left of the screen there. I was just kind of blind because I'm blind. Not really, but I'm blind. So if I was just like, oh, so there must be different. There must be different wheat. So I spot a green somewhere over the way, and then I think I also spot white. I think it's called molded white wheat, which, you know, the mold must come from the fact that it's been eons. It's been many a year since, you know, dwarves were possibly able to harvest this stuff. So it's just like, oh, so the mold grew on it. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. No, that's just how they wanted it. They ferment the shit out of it. Takes me a while to figure it out, but trust me, we get there. Because this room is huge. I was just like, wait, this room is massive. There has to be more than one. I think I come across down this way. And then we see green, or a greenish glow, on the other side. Roundabout in the center of the screen there. And then we see a sphere and another Harvest Centurion. Noticing the storm there, but no lightning is being shot down just yet. I go towards the obelisk in the center here. Something pops up. We find another piece for the Dwarven horse. And then I think I find a mercenary right there who was clearly crushed to death. No note on him, though. It appears to be just the one note at the beginning of the chamber. So there we go. There's the white mold. Yep. And that is where I'm gonna end it, guys, because that's where the dream died. Okay, guys. I will see you for the next one, and hopefully with some more stable footage. Bye-bye.